Stephanie Vaughn. I'm the assistant principal here at the high school, and I'd like to welcome all of you to our spring band concert. As always, these students have prepared extremely hard for tonight's performance, and that becomes more and more difficult as the year goes on. These students are ready to be out of here and start their summer, but they have a great concert planned for you tonight. If you are looking for something to do this Memorial Day weekend and you want to support our band students even more, we do have 2 other performances from our high school students coming up this weekend. The first one is going to be this Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Arts Fest in Harrisburg. Our jazz band will present a concert at the Kunkel Plaza stage, which is at the corner of State Street and Front Street. On Monday, right here in Hummelstown at 10 a.m., the marching band will march in the Hummelstown Memorial Day Parade, and they're going to participate in the ceremony at the cemetery afterwards. So there's 2 additional things to look forward to this weekend. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our middle school students that are here with us tonight. We have the middle school jazz and concert bands joining us. I want to pay special attention to our 8th grade students, as this is the last time they're performing on stage as a middle school student. We're really excited to welcome you all over to the high school next year, and we hope that they continue their musical pathways as they come over here. On the other hand, I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our seniors that are performing tonight. For them, this will be their last time on stage as a Lower Dolphin student. So we want to thank them for all their hard work and dedication over the years and wish them well in their future endeavors. At this time, if you haven't done so already, please silence your cell phones before the show. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hutchinson and the middle school jazz band.
All right. Thank you so much for being here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting night for us to get to bring the jazz band and the concert bands together. The jazz band normally performs in April, and I'm talking really fast because there's a whole lot of music to play tonight. But anyhow, the jazz band usually plays in April, and we just weren't quite ready to roll. We get a half an hour every 6 days, and with all the snow and everything, it was just a rough winter for us. So we took a couple of extra months already, just to put some finishing touches on it to make sure that our soloists are ready to go. And I can tell you that when I was a middle school kid, one of the most terrifying things in the world to me was playing in front of an audience of people like you guys. So I'm super proud of all of our soloists, and I wanted to just acknowledge them. Guys, when I call your name, stand up and wave so everybody knows which one you were. Our soloists in the first number, which was Blame It on the Disco, we had Jack Wolf, and Olivia Holstein, and Hudson Millar, and Luke Johns, and Bryn Powell, Olivia Byers, and Mason Clark. And in all fairness, we started working on the solos about a week before they were actually supposed to perform in April. And at that one rehearsal that I gave them to work on solos, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot put these kids up in front of an audience to make them play by themselves after one rehearsal. So they've put in a lot of work, and they've been really great. I'm just really excited to have this group this year. The second number that we played was, of course, a recognizable tune, I'll Be There. And we're going to end with 1.21 gigawatts. And there was a lot of debate about whether it was gigawatts or gigawatts until we realized that it was in reference to Back to the Future. It took 1.21 gigawatts of energy to get the DeLorean back in time. So this is supposed to be an energetic piece that might be able to inspire some time travel if we make it energetic enough, all right? So this is 1.21 gigawatts, and this has Joe Frank on alto solo and Hudson Millar, all right? Here we go. All right, and so we're going to take a couple minutes here to get the stage set up for the middle school band. There's going to be a little bit of a turnover time tonight as we get the stage set for them, and then later on for the high school. You're welcome to use this time to chat with your neighbors, say hi to everybody. Unless you're one of the middle school kids sitting over here, you're not allowed to talk, and your parents are watching. So I'm going to take just a couple of minutes, and we'll get on with the show in a minute. All right, the microphone's being difficult right now. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try to keep the chatting to a minimum because we've got a ton of music tonight. In case you haven't figured it out, we had a cold winter this year, and that seems to last forever, but already it's starting to seem like a distant memory. And we chose music, or I chose music for the band this year that was hopefully going to inspire some warmth and take us to warmer places and get us out of cold central PA for a little while. The next piece that I have is not one that's in the program, or not one that's in the program. It's one that my keyboard players, the returning keyboards, the ones who have been on this for more than a year, have been working on in their lessons. It's called Our Little Hacienda, and it is meant to invoke just a nice, relaxing image of a cold home out in the countryside. So now, This thing is just like a middle school kid. I never know what it's gonna do. But anyhow, that piece was our Mexican folk song fantasy, and when we started out with that one, it was a real bugger. And in the description of it, the subtitle is actually Percussion Gone Buggy, and there's so much stuff happening in the percussion section, and buggy is definitely the right adjective to describe my percussion section. But they've been great, and I'm so proud of how hard they've all worked and just what they've been able to do over the last couple of months. The next piece that we have for you is it's called Malagueña, and it's a very common band tune. And it's one that either me or Mr. Richardson will pull out of the library every couple of years. And it's funny because at the middle school, the year before I started teaching, the middle school band played Malagueña without me knowing. And then I came in and played Malagueña and didn't know it until one of the parents was like, oh, we played that, our kids played that last year. And I was like, what? And then they got to the high school where they had a different band director who, like 2 years later, played Malagueña again. And then one of my kids went into the band at Cal U of PA, and their freshman year of the show was Malagueña. And that mother was like texting me, holy cow, I've heard Malagueña 5 times. But it's been a long time since we've done this one, and it's a great piece of music that is just a lot of fun to play. It gives your kids a chance to be loud and fast and all that stuff, all the things that they like to do. But it's a great piece of music. I hope you like this one, Malagueña. I didn't even have to turn it on that time. I don't know who knows. That is a perfect song to end with, but we have one more that we're going to do today. The last piece is, like, it's just so beautiful, and I debated whether to put it in the middle, the beginning, the end, because it's odd to go from a fiery tune like that to a just a gorgeous piece of music for the finale here. But this next one, it's called You'll Never Walk Alone. And it's amazing, the things you see as a middle school teacher, the things that some of your kids see, and the things that other kids see. And right after the tragedy down in Parkland, just thinking about being in school and being with these kids and how much they all mean to you guys and to me and to all of us in the school. I just wanted to find a way to connect with these kids a little bit better and help them realize that music is an important thing that brings us together, especially in a time when we really need it. So this next piece here is called You'll Never Walk Alone, and I just want to share with you the words from it. If you don't know the song, it's got beautiful lyrics, and it is, when you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. And I want these kids to all realize that no matter what is going on outside of our building, inside their homes, outside of their homes, that they are a great family here. It's a great group of kids, and they're all meaningful to this group. They're all meaningful to me, and I just wanted this great opportunity to connect with them. So this is a beautiful piece of music called You'll Never Walk Alone. At the end, while Mr. Richardson is getting ready, I'm going to give you guys the usual announcements that I would have regarding the other stuff, but this is our You'll Never Walk Alone, and I'm really excited to play this one for you and to finish with it. Testing, yeah. It's amazing. They can play soft and they can play beautifully, and it's just the perfect way to end. I'm so happy with them, and I'm so proud of them, and that's exactly the way I wanted it to be tonight. So thank you to all of you guys. It was perfect. It was beautiful. Thank you. So I have a couple of announcements here regarding the things that are happening between now and the end of the school year and everything. First of all, don't forget, if you have a 7th grader, we do have our summer band with Hershey and Palmyra. I'm looking forward to hosting it here at Lower Dauphin this year. And again, Sweet Dogs will be back. We'll have refreshments and everything out on the patio at the school on the night of the concert. Practices are Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 in the middle school on the stage, and that's where the concert will be as well. That registration is technically due on tomorrow. Get it in if you can. If it's late, it will be okay. It's summer band. We don't stress about anything really. So the music is, for a 7th grader going into 8th grade, the music is going to be pretty easy. But as I told them today, we rely on those kids to help bring the younger incoming 6th graders up. So we could really use their help. There are forms available for that out there on the table. Secondly, speaking of forms on the table, if you have a kid going into 9th grade or who's already in high school, I did put a bunch of copies of the summer marching band schedule out there, including football season, and pretty much everything up until the end of their season. That is out there on the table if you need it. Don't forget, if you have a kid who is going into 9th grade, please consider the marching band. We have a parent information meeting here on Tuesday, June 5th at 6 o'clock in the band room. Showing up at that meeting doesn't commit you or your kid to anything, but it's a great opportunity for you to meet Mr. Richardson and hear what goes on with band camp and being away over the summer and vacations and all of that stuff. It's all really important information. I'll see this year if I can get it recorded or something for those of you who can't make it, but please do your best to get there. If you have a kid who's going into 9th grade, they're probably very reluctant to join the marching band. And I've been on their case about it for the last month, and I'm going to lay it on them really hard here, because really, most of the kids in our high school band who find their passion here find it on the football field, playing their band instrument, or in the bleachers, or on the buses we're traveling. It's just a completely different experience than concert band. And I always tell you as the parent, if you just trust me on it and get your kid there, Mr. Richardson is an incredible band director who will do anything for your kids. And we both work together to make sure your kids have a positive experience. So please consider that. That meeting is on June 5th. Aside from that, 1 week from tonight, I have a group from this band and a couple of 6th graders who practice every week after school, and they have a concert coming up at East Hanover Community Park. It's at the East Hanover Township Building. 1 week from tonight at 7 o'clock. We're calling it a children's concert. They're playing the music from Mary Poppins, Beauty and the Beast, The Muppets, and then there's a song or two for them to show off what they've got as well. And the Falcon Foundation is providing snacks and drinks for any little kids that come. So bring as many of them out as you can. East Hanover has had a really great resurgence of their elementary band program over the last couple of years, and they've been really excited, and we felt like it was a good place to take our kids to show off. Next Wednesday, normally I take 6th graders on my elementary visits to Londonderry. If you have a kid that went to Londonderry, I can take 3 of them with me out to meet the 5th graders. The current 6th graders have cultural day here, so they can't go with me. So I'm looking for a couple of 8th graders to tag along. I can actually take 4. If there's more than that who want to go, I base it on who's gotten an A in the classes that they're missing and who has the better lesson attendance. And aside from that, I have a whole lot more to say, but I'm just going to save it for an email. You know I like long emails. So at this point, we're going to start to get the stage ready for the high school band and get everything set up. I hope that you can stick around to hear their concert. It's going to be amazing as well. What? This always scares me.
I know it's quite unexpected right now, but we're going to have a few 8th graders say a few words about him, and I guess I'm going first. So, when I first got into 4th grade and we got the idea to play an instrument, I picked the clarinet, go figure. In Londonderry, we had a very, very small band consisting of about 6 kids. But when I went to the middle school, we had a huge band and the best teacher that I've had so far. He has encouraged me to go as far and beyond as humanly possible. I've done every after-school group that I could and the jazz band, and I've tried for solos, and it's all because of Mr. Hutch. So I'd like just to say thank you for that.
I can just see your name in lights right now. You have taught all of us so much. You've been here for all of us. You've showed me the musician I am today. You have made me the person I am today. And you've dealt with all of us from, do we have band today? I think my instrument's broken. I just want to play Fortnite. You've dealt with all of it. And you've been here for all of us, and you are the best band director I have ever had. These past 3 years that I've been in middle school, you have made everything so much better for me, and I couldn't be any happier to thank you right now for everything you've done.
All right, Mr. Hutch, we're going to do something slightly different this year, so if you will follow me off stage. Come on, don't be shy, Mr. Hutch. So, Mr. Hutch, for the past 3 years, you had taught this band, and you had survived. Being a band director doesn't always mean you have to direct a band. You also have the opportunity to listen to lots of other bands. We know it's hard to see. We know it's hard to see your bands move up into 9th grade. As a band, we decided to go above and beyond, and present you with a song, "The Raiders March," directed by Emma Wan. Go ahead, you have a seat.
Oh, you're still going.
Yeah, they're still going.
I told you it's going to be a long night, but I did not know about this.
Take the shirt.
Okay, so I got Mr. Hutch a shirt with help from Emma Wan and Lily Knott. And it's on the front, it says "Shut Up and Play," because I have a shirt that says that, and he always references it. And on the back, it says "Hating Children Since 2002." Because he always says, "I hate children," and he started teaching in 2002, so.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh,
Band-Aids. We got Band-Aids.
thanks. Holy cow, guys. Jeez, you guys.
We have been part of marching band this past season, and because of that, we found out that it's really hard to hear him when we're doing block, which is practicing marching and everything, so we got him a little something. All right. So we got him a megaphone.
I can use it in band too. 2 of us.
So during marching band, the speaker would always break, and then it would be like hard to hear Mr. Hutch all across the field. So that's why we got him a speaker, a little megaphone, so he could talk to everyone and we could all hear.
I remember one day in band when somebody had asked for a a Band-Aid. And you said, it's the band room, of course we have a Band-Aid. And it turned out to not have the right size. So I took it in hand to get you some Band-Aids as the meaning for that. So thank you for everything.
All right, so I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but guys, every year the real joy of this job, you know, it does have a lot of frustrations, it really does. But the real joy of this job is getting to see my 8th graders move on, and then at this concert getting to see my seniors who were 6th graders not all that long ago. Like, you know how fast it went. And I remember them when they were little rugrats coming in who could barely make a squeak or a honk. And it's amazing. And why is pestering here? It's just amazing how far they come, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this step of the process. And guys, you really know how to pick a guy up too. Sometimes I have bad days just like you guys, and the concert tonight couldn't have gone better, and I'm so proud of you for that. And this was icing on the cake. Thank you so much for being such great kids. I appreciate it. And thank you to all of you guys. At this point, we are finally going to hear the stage and get the high school on. Please stick around if you can. Hey, I'm going to say one more thing, by the way, I forgot. First of all, I didn't know that these kids don't need me. I don't know when they rehearsed that or how they rehearsed it without me knowing about it. And secondly, you may or may not know that when I was a kid, I wanted 2 careers. One was either be a band director, or the other was actually to be Indiana Jones. And when I got to Penn State, I sat in a lecture hall of 300 people. It was an introduction to archaeology, and the screen came down, and they played a clip from Indiana Jones, and I thought I had died and gone to heaven, and the professor said, "This is not real archaeology." And it ended up being the last archaeology class that I took. So it was a perfect choice. Thank you.